The NFC is wide open in 2024 as teams like the Eagles, 49ers, and Cowboys have many questions surrounding their futures. The Packers and Bears, teams like that, a little too young. It seems like people are leaving one team that just won the Super Bowl a few years ago out of the conversation. And that team is the LA Rams. In 2023, the Rams went 10-7, led by quarterback Matthew Stafford and the offensive juggernaut that included young stars Kyren Williams and Puka Nacua, veteran Cooper Kupp, and coach Sean McVay. They would end up losing to Detroit in the wildcard game, which was Stafford's return home, where I infamously predicted LA would win, but it was still a good season for a team that won just 3 of its first 9 games before going 7-1 to close out the season. They were a surprise team, given how they started, but in reality, we all should have known that they would have gone on a run once Kupp returned in Week 5 with how Puka Nacua was playing. Aaron Donald did retire, and it sucks losing one of the best defense players to ever play the game, but the Rams can come back from this and contend for a title this year because of their offseason additions. In free agency, they added 3 guys to their secondary, star cornerback Trey White, and support pieces like cornerback Darius Williams and safety Cameron Curl. Tre'Davious White was a stud for the Bills, making 2 Pro Bowls, an All-Pro first and All-Pro second team. But the past 3 seasons, he's played a combined 21 games. Not great. But if he can come back and stay healthy, he can return to the Pro Bowl form and be the team's number 1 cornerback alongside Darius Williams and nickel Kobe Durant. Last season, Darius had 4 interceptions and a coverage PFF grade of 85.3 and is quickly becoming underrated. The Rams were the 20th best passing defense, and these 3 additions will help them fix that issue. And keep it on the same side of the ball. In the draft, they went nearly all defense. The first 2 rounds included 2 FSU defensive linemen, an edge Jared Verse and defensive tackle Braden Fisk. Those 2 prospects project to be great pass rushers in the league, with Verse being an absolute steal due to the offensive landslide in the first half of round 1. Later on in rounds 3 through 5, they added another safety in Cameron Kitchens, and 2 more defensive linemen, Brennan Jackson and Tyler Davis. The LA front office knew that they had to replace Donald immediately for any defensive success, and they have the past 2 drafts. Last year getting stud defensive tackle Kobe Turner and edge Byron Young. The pass rush may be one of the top 5 best in the league if the draft picks work out. They were graded as the 11th best last season, and I genuinely believe that they can break into the elite category of pass rushers statistically. Jared Verse has so many traits that will translate to the NFL, and alongside Turner, Young, Fisk, and others, those 4 young studs can create something special in LA to replace Aaron Donald. Now, this defense seems to be making all the right moves. You can argue that losing Raheem Morris as defensive coordinator, that their linebacker room is not the best. I'm sure that the rest of this defense can figure it out, because they truly have some stars and young players who can get even better or show us what they're about, who will transform this defense into one of the better units in the NFL. You just have to hope that new defensive coordinator Chris Shula is the right guy for the job. While the defense improved, the offense got even better. I don't even need to talk about Sean McVay, because we all know how good that guy is at leading a team and calling plays. His creativity and imagination, come on, give me some credit for that one, is something that I have never seen before. But we all know that, so I'll stop talking. The Rams brought in guard Jonah Jackson to help bolster their average offensive line. And while their O-line is not great, it is for sure not a bad unit and can hold up when needed. But they are really good at run blocking. They were one of the best run blocking teams in the league, and with their nasty running back duo of Kyren Williams and rookie Blake Corum, they could have like 1,200 and 700 yards each if the Rams play their cards right. It legit could be like a Dave Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs type of situation. Wait, have you heard of Underdog Fantasy? Underdog is the best and easiest way to play fantasy sports. All you have to do is pick higher or lower on your favorite players' projections, and you can win up to 80 times your money in a single night. If you want to become a dog, go ahead and download the app, or go to UnderdogFantasy.com and use code FANATICS when you sign up. They'll match your first deposit up to $250 and give you daily special picks for your pick'em entries. Personally, I've been doing a lot of the drafts for the MLB the past few days, and it's gone very well for me, let me tell you. You draft your favorite athletes and compete against real people, and whoever's team scores the most fantasy points takes home the cash. Again, that is code FANATICS for a first-time deposit match up to $250. This team is built on offense, and will start with those guys. The Rams were just 2-3 without Kyren Williams last season. Coincidentally enough, the 2 wins were by 1 point each. The run game is invaluable to how Sean McVay wants to run his offense, so now having two guys who can carry a load, allowing for success even if one misses a game, was a genius decision by the front office. Having those two backs behind that good run blocking line is just a recipe for great things to happen, and Blake Corum may be seen as potentially, by some, an overrated prospect because of how good Michigan's offensive line was, but either way, he will excel in this offense as an RB2 behind budding star Kyren Williams, who was just insane last season. If you watched any Kyren last year, you will know that these two together are just meant to do something special. The passing attack, though, is the real kicker for this team, and I think it could be the best in the league. Matthew Stafford just makes records. Cooper Kupp's Triple Crown, Nakua rookie receiving record, and of course, Megatron back in the day. Never mind the fact that he had 5,000 yards one season with the Lions. I have a video from 4 years ago that still holds up. Tell me how many times you've seen that, come on. Matthew Stafford is the most underrated quarterback of the last decade. That was prior to him winning the Super Bowl and getting traded to LA, but it makes even more sense now. One of the most talented throwers of the football ever. From arm talent, creativity, arm angles, accuracy, zip, poise, toughness, everything. If Matthew Stafford got recognition from the fans, the media, and voters and all that, now he wouldn't have won an MVP, but we would be talking about him in a much different light. But even now, you cannot say that those records don't happen without him. He's a star, and people were afraid to admit it for a while, but you can no longer doubt him being top 10 in the NFL. Stafford and McVay combining is one of the best things to happen for the NFL and LA, as it has created one of the best passing attacks in the league. It's even scarier since they do not have to rely on the passing game because Kyren Williams is just that good. In the playoffs, nobody will be able to match up with this offense. Oh, you have Tre'Davious Ward on Cooper Kupp? Okay, Puka, go do something crazy, and vice versa. Last season, Puka Nakua basically said, "Want to see me do something crazy? Like the catch and run against the Colts for the game winner?" Then said, "Want to see me do it again? With one of the best catches from last season with no gloves against the Ravens?" And yes, that is another SpongeBob reference, okay? Enjoy it. Just having those two stars automatically makes your passing attack elite. Two guys who can put up 1,500 yards when healthy. Now, they won't do it together because that's just insane, but they will be difference makers off of play action because teams are peeing their pants thinking about Kyren and Blake running down their throats. And also, quick rant, how on God's green earth is Kyren so physical at his size? He's 5'9", 195 pounds, was top 10 in yards after contact per attempt, and top 11 in missed tackles forced. He's not that large, but just sheds almost every tackle. I don't know, man, it's just crazy. Anyways, they also have some decent role players in the passing game. Tyler Higbee is a solid tight end, and there's Demarcus Robinson and Tutu Atwell wide receiver 3 and 4. Both of those guys can create big plays at any given moment, as we saw with Tutu last season deep, and Higbee is just very reliable. He's not a star, but he just gets the job done. Like, you need a 10-yard gain? Sure. 5-yard gain on third down? He's got you. Between the creativity of McVay and his passing game, and the talented star talent they have on the outside, in the pocket, and in the backfield, there is no way this offense will be stopped all season, and then come postseason against teams like the 49ers and Lions. Yeah, good luck. Honestly, people are just leaving the Rams out of conversations when it comes to surprise contenders in the NFC. They are an all-around elite group of guys with great coaching. The only real questions are the linebackers potentially, pass blocking maybe, and the unknown of Chris Shula. The thing about Shula, though, is that he has been there since 2017. He's learned a thing, or 1,000, from Raheem Morris, and will be able to coach this defense. There's a reason they chose him for the job, despite him never having NFL defensive coordinator experience in his life. And what do you know? He coached at John Carroll University just like everyone else. I swear to God, every coach has either gone to school there or coached there at some point in their life. The place is a D3 machine. That just makes me have more faith in him. LA has some serious potential this season. Their front office pulled off the perfect moves to replace their Hall of Famer Aaron Donald. And wow, you cannot replace Aaron Donald. They tried, and I think it'll work. And both sides of the ball got better. The media has not talked about how great their offseason was, and they're going to prove it to us come September and through February. And with all that being said, that is it for me, guys. thank you for tuning into Fanatic Sports. If you made this far in the video, come on, give a like, subscribe to the channel. All support is very much appreciated, helps me out more than you know. Also, follow me on Instagram at FanaticSports25, Twitter and X at Fanatic Sports. This is Joe of Fanatic Sports, signing off.